So we've had a little rain here, and it's put a little moisture in this top 6 inches of soil, which is good. We just need another 3 or 4 or 5 inches before freeze up. So this rain can come anytime. There's always been climate variability, but the maximum temperatures are getting higher. The maximum wind speeds are getting higher. Nobody knows if it's going to get wetter or drier because of climate change here, but it seems like it's going to get drier, which is bad news for people trying to farm here.
We never go to the casino because we gamble for a living every single day of the year. We have crop insurance, which is a godsend in a year like this, but it's always a gamble. You put up your ante, which is the seed, and then you wait to see what kind of hand you're dealt.
I'm easily confused by labels like regenerative agriculture. I tend to think of it more like, is the method of farming actually trying to work with nature or work against it? Because in my view, the more we can work with nature, the easier it will be. And so regenerative agriculture, I believe, is trying to do that. And so is organic agriculture trying to do that, because they're not trying to introduce so many foreign factors like chemicals and fertilizers that are really going to alter the natural production system. It's very easy to get into the mindset where you just want to kill every living thing that's in the soil except the thing you want to grow. But it turns out, without too much thinking, you realize that all the living things are interconnected and they need each other. There's a couple of old tractors here that my father collected. He was born in 1909 and his parents brought him to this farm in 1911. He started farming with horses, but he quickly gravitated to gas-powered tractors when they were available. So you pour gasoline directly into each cylinder, about a tablespoon in each one, close them up again, go around, crank that crank and hope it starts up. The Rumleys are a really classic old gas tractor, and they have a distinctive noise when they're running, a distinctive firing pattern of the 2 pistons. So this farm has been in operation for a little over 100 years, and there's been tremendous amount of change in that time, moving from horses to machinery and tractors, and then bigger tractors and bigger combines has come ever increasing costs. The cost now of operating a farm with decent sized machinery or large sized machinery is really totally out of reach unless somebody has strong financial backing, either a family member that is going to help them get involved in the farm, or increasingly some kind of investor backing. And none of that seems to be a really healthy concept, because it's all leading towards increased consolidation, the methods, the means of food production in fewer and fewer hands, and all managed by some financier who works for some nameless, faceless company somewhere in some other part of the world.
This is our wedding picture, which was taken November 18th, 1989. So I've been at the farm 34 years. If you talk to almost anyone that was born in Saskatchewan, you will find some connection to a farm. And so this is pictures of the farms that we come from. There are fewer and fewer family farms. And a family farm is like a member of the family, so it's been a very difficult transition for a lot of families. But fewer and fewer young people want to farm, and so as people age out of the farm, it's hard work. They end up selling to the next big farmer, unfortunately.
Canada as a country does not have an agricultural policy. We have a trade policy that from time to time sort of masquerades as an agricultural policy, but the trade policy is just to produce more and export more. It says nothing about a goal for the number of farmers or a goal for communities, a goal for towns and cities outside of the major cities. As far as our own personal situation goes, we're getting near the end of our farming lives, but we don't have any sort of a decent transition figured out.
But my favorite idea would be for a young family to farm and to farm organically. We went through a lot to get this land into organic production, but it's almost impossible for someone who is not inheriting a farm to buy a farm these days. So that's who knows what's really gonna happen.
So this is red spring wheat that was harvested in 2022, and it's a pretty nice looking sample. And there's a few little weed seeds in here. These little tiny black guys down here, they are the wild mustard seeds. And wild mustard is a very pernicious weed, especially in organic operations. We're just incredibly lucky that we're both still mobile and still engaged, and it's still a challenge because every single year is different than the year before, and there's new things to try. There's new crops to try, there's new methods to try, and so it's still exciting.